So imagine you're on the bus, and you overhear behind you a language that you don't recognize. As you listen, you might think, wow, that language sounds beautiful, or perhaps harsh and angry, or even, wow, that language sounds really complicated. But what makes someone who has no prior experience think of a language as being more difficult? That's exactly what fascinates me, and is what my research is all about. You see, languages aren't just single entities. They come in varieties, and dialects can differ dramatically, even within the same country. China, for example, is home to many dialects, some as distinct from each other as English is to Dutch. My research looks at how non-Chinese speakers perceive the difficulty of different Chinese dialects. Participants with no significant exposure to Chinese listened to recordings of Chinese dialects and ranked them according to how difficult they sounded. Their responses provided some interesting results. For example, one of these results was that these listeners thought that the Beijing dialect, which is based on Standard Mandarin, was the easiest. Meanwhile, a rare dialect from Wenzhou was considered the hardest. But why? The answer likely lies in exposure. You see, Mandarin is the most widely used Chinese dialect in the world. It's used in media and technology all over the globe. Even if you've never studied Chinese, it's very likely that you've at least heard Mandarin in passing. On the other hand, dialects like those from Wenzhou remain very much unknown by non-native speakers, making them feel more foreign and therefore more difficult. So this has huge implications for language learning. If our perception of difficulty is based on what we're exposed to, then our ability to learn a language, or more importantly here, our willingness to even try to learn that language, is being affected before we even begin. This can also highlight hidden biases in how we approach unfamiliar cultures. Should a language be considered difficult or more hard than another, does that discourage us from engaging with that dialect and that community at all? Do speakers of these dialects face greater linguistic barriers in their world? And in a world that is increasingly interconnected, yet more divided than ever, can these biases reinforce those cultural divisions that are already present? You see, by studying this intersection of language difficulty and dialects, we can better understand not just how people hear language, but how their perceptions can be affected by real-world language learning and cultural attitudes. So, next time that you're on the bus, be sure to think of me and my research, and be sure to keep one ear open when you're on your route. Thank you.